Okay, so I have this floor plan here, and we're going to develop an axonometric 30-60. Here's your 30-60 triangle. You'll notice in your kit you have a 45 and you have a 30-60, so you want the smaller triangle to use. The second step would be to tape down your floor plan. You need to have your floor plan completed, and you need to know the height of your ceilings to complete it. So elevations also help for completed work. The second step we're going to do is figure out where we want to draw. Do we want to draw the living room? Do we want to draw the bedroom? So what area do we want to see? Typically, a lot of people like to see the living room. So what we can do is put the 30-60 on that side. So sometimes you have to rotate your drawing around to find out what area you want to show. So now what I'm doing is lining up my walls to make sure they're straight. And I'll flip it around this side, make sure the side is straight. Yeah. And then I tape down my drawing. And your couple of pieces. And then I want to keep these loose so I can move my drawing up and down, and my ruler up and down freely. And then I'll want to tape my clean paper over top of where I want to draw. Now it's okay to actually tape it exactly where you're going to draw from. I want to see this corner. So I'm going to bring it down just a bit on the lowest end of the drawing and then tape that down. And you're going to find when you're doing axonometrics that you may have one you start and then you'll draw again over top to take the lines in the furniture to make it a little bit cleaner. So you can use this as your first attempt. The next thing I'd want is my scale. And this drawing here is at a 1/4 inch scale. So again, you're still drawing it at a 1/4 inch scale because you have to bring your height at that level. What I do first is I want to plot my walls out. So I'm going to go from my corner of each wall, and I'll draw lines straight up from there. I'm not measuring it out quite yet. I'll erase it afterwards, but I'm just going to bring all my lines up that I want to see in 3D. And then what you'll find too, you may find you're not going to show a portion of this wall, so it may be a break line. You might just fade out in the background. So what I'm going to do here now is figure where my height of my wall is. And this one is 8 feet, I'm assuming. Is it 8 feet? 8 foot wall? Yep. Okay. So that's usually a standard height. You may have height walls at different heights. It'll be bigger than 8. So I've drawn a little mark there to show my 8 foot mark. And then I want to connect my walls there. This is when I need an eraser. Thank you. Just to clean up my lines a bit afterwards. Because then what you'll do, to give you that 3D look, you may even draw the line at the back corner of the wall and then just connect them. So again, here you're just showing the thickness of that wall and that back wall, and you'll do the same here. As long as you get the height, the first mark for the height, you can pretty much figure the rest out. Now she has Now I'm going to have to show the thickness on this side. Just check it at 8 feet. That would be the thickness of that wall there. It's a little bit larger on the back wall because it's exterior wall. So you're showing the interior bumped up to the exterior. So that there is just showing the back two walls here. Now you have a window. Is this just a large window? Is there any doors within the window?
Just a large window.
Okay, just a large window. And this is when you need your elevations because you'll need how high it comes up from your floor. So do you know how high approximately it comes off? About 2 feet a foot? Okay. So this is again when you use the height. And I want to go find where my window starts here. I'm going to go 2 feet high. I'm going to draw a little. And how high are your windows? Probably about 5 feet.
5 feet.
Yeah, 4 or 5 feet is usually about average. So there I've just drawn where my window starts off my ground, and I've drawn a line here showing the height. And then, so you can see here I've boxed in where my window will be located. And then what I do is find the point of where, because there's 3 planes of glass in there, so there's a point here, and I match up past to the 2 feet mark. And there's my window starting there. So it's just boxed in 3 sections. Now, you would typically see a bit of a ledge on there, on the window, to give it more of a 3D look. So you show a bit of the frame. Again, using this. It gives you that 3D frame. And you also show trim around your window, so you may have like 3 inches around. Of course, you'd use your scale, measure at your 3 inches. I'm just estimating and freehanding at this point a little bit. So it gives you an idea how it looks with your trim around. You may want to show like a couple lines like that, just showing there's glass on either side. So you can kind of see how it's coming together a little bit with the window, the walls. You also would show your baseboard trim. So again, I'm just going to make this a little bit darker so it stands out. Add some baseboard trim at 3 inches at the bottom. And even the baseboard trim would have a slight little bit of thickness on the top to show that's more of a 3D effect. So you can kind of see how that's coming together a bit. So the next thing to try to figure out, so in this case, I think I would just show my 2 back walls, because if I show these walls over top, it's going to take away from the furniture, so I won't see it. These walls would come in its way. So I'm not going to show that wall there. I want to kind of see where my furniture is here. So I'm going to play around here with the tables and the sofa here. Now you have to kind of know your measurements here for your sofa to kind of go. I'm going to estimate because I don't have the elevations in front of me. So I'm going to go with kind of some basic measurements. And what I do is I usually box it out. So say it's about 18 inches. And then I'm going to go back to this corner about 18 inches. And then the best way to do it is, again, draw it all out as a box and then add to it if you want to make it look more fluffy. If it's not, add some more detail to it, then add detail to the box itself. Now, the back end of your sofa would be a little bit bigger than that. It might be around 3 feet or so. It could be even bigger depending on the style of sofa you have. So here I'm just boxing out the very back of the sofa. And then I've got, so you can start seeing it coming together there. And as you can tell, as I said, I'm making just a box out of it at this point. Then what I would do is add some thickness to it. And then Now, the one thing here you want to bring out the cushions, is you want to see where the cushions land. Yeah, it's really noisy outside there. Then you might want to just round out the edges a bit. Might have some sort of frame on the bottom. So box in your furniture, and then you have tables here too. So some things will be covered a little bit too because you have tables in the way. And your tables may be, say, about 2 feet high. You might just have a couple little end tables. Again, you have to measure the furniture you have in your space to make it realistic. If you don't have your measurements, it makes it a little bit trickier to figure out because it won't be as accurate. And this is where you can see where some of the lines start overlapping other lines. And then you may want to draw a lamp or something that might be on your table. You have another table here. Am I kind of accurate what I'm drawing for the table? Okay. And again, you'd want to measure that out to your 1/4 inch. Oh, and I'm kind of catching some of the drawing here. So 2 feet. Yeah, it's like Morse code going on out there. It's all this beeping and stuff. It's going to be added to my video. So as you can see, you box the furniture in afterwards and then kind of add to it to get some 3D. And you'll have to erase some of your lines too, because I have some of my wall lines in behind where the furniture is. So it gets a little bit confusing. And that's when you want to put another overlay on top of it and take the lines that you need, like your furniture lines. You may not see part of the lines at the back of the wall because now my furniture has overlapped it. So that's kind of how you would lay it out. As I said, for any sort of furniture, box it out first. Don't try to try to freehand it. I always add the boxes in and then draw within the box the furniture, and that's the easiest way to work around that. And then afterwards too, you may want to show a bit of detail for your flooring. So you can do it a really light line type, showing the hardwood flooring, which she's already got in her floor plan. So you can just add a little bit in a really light line type. You might also, like here has also a area rug, so you might want to add the area rug to the floor plan and just add some detail to that. She's got a chair here too you can draw in 3D. You'll find too, when you start taking your drawing classes, you'll find that'll be really helpful for your 3D work because you can start adding more of your freehand work into the 3D perspectives and draw it quicker too. So that will help too with more experience with that. I think that's it for